Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. Pastor Dowell here. Well, been a very interesting year, hasn't it? I can tell you one thing. It's amazing to be on the other side when you're constantly being defamed, ridiculed, derided, chided, falsely accused. People are false witness, bearing false witness. It seems like, I tell you what, man, Satan gave us his best shot, hadn't he? Within his last year and a half. He's given us his best shot. And still, we're here standing. We're still here standing. It's amazing for people who don't know nothing about you to listen to people who are bitter, who are envious, and who are jealous. And you watch all these people who at one time spoke well about you, and a lot of them I never even met before. And now all of a sudden they jump on this bandwagon of slander and defaming. Within the last year and a half, I dealt with and I watched a lot of betrayal. A lot of people who I thought were somewhat, they end up being not. I watched so much and learned so much. And, and then I kind of wonder, why is this happening at this particular juncture in time? Well, usually, whenever the storm comes, after it subsides and stuff, then the next thing you know, the sunshine comes out, the birds are singing, everything is blooming. Well, that's because a blessing is coming. A big time blessing is coming from the Most High Yah, and I can't wait to stand there to receive it. In the midst of all this, I failed at quite a few things that I thought I was at while being tempted. You know what I mean? Because most people don't think that whenever someone is lying on you, that causes you to be tempted. And not tempted to lie causes you to tempted to retaliate. And in some things, it makes you want to literally just settle things the old way, if y'all know what I mean. Most people don't know what the old way is and stuff, but the internet is unique nowadays. And so I found out how to defeat the internet, and it's just simply don't give life and oxygen to those who are liars, evil beasts, slow-bellied, the people who put forth the finger, falsely accused. And I'm saying all this not for me. I've already been through all this. Saying it all for you all out there. Listen, you're not going to stand for righteousness. And like I said before, no good deed ever goes unpunished. I've had people who I've provided lifestyles for. Man, they lived on the ministry lands for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and never had to pay rent and mortgage. And next thing you know, and some of them had money given to them every single month. And then they just turn on you. They get Confederate, like over in Psalms 83. Then they turn on you. And I often says this, listen, the enemy knows, the devil knows, that he cannot get people to listen to them unless he's telling a lie. Or unless he's holding the truth in unrighteousness. Some people are wordsmiths out there to where they can present this much of a truth, and then the rest of it is lies, the rest of it is slander, the rest of it is false accusation and stuff. And depending on where you're at spiritually, if you can't read between the lines, if you can't look at people who are doing all this and peer into their life, you'll never be able to see it. But I thank the Father for going through this because, as I always have another saying, that which doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. And I've come out stronger. I've come out better. I've come out. I just feel sorry for the people who at one time loved me and then believed these people. And now they are offended and they've taken on somebody else's bitterness. And I tell you, I hate to see where they're at spiritually right now. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But hey, you only got one life to live. I know that these people, they all came to the ministry because they heard me. And now, just like in the book, when you read the book of Acts, you read about people who are following men of Yah, and then all of a sudden people would rise up. And they would seek to draw away disciples after them own selves. Paul warned us about grievous wolves would come in and not sparing the flock. It's the same thing that happened when we read about men of renown, Korah, Dathan, and Abiram rising up against Moses. These insurrections, these rebellions, they're common. I think the deal is that we're here in this time, and now the internet is entered in, and you don't get to see these people unless they're behind a camera. You don't get to face these people unless they're behind a camera. People are expert at throwing rocks and hiding hands, and I tell you, I see what the devil was doing. This is what the devil's doing. The devil, because Straitway Truth Ministry is so effective in truth and living truth in life, people's lives are being changed for the Most High Yah to serve the real Jesus. This was Satan's attack, and he used every single one of those people that are under his control. And you know just as well as I do, all these people out here that are attacking Pastor Dowell, they don't have a personal prayer life. They don't have a fasting life. They don't have a word life. They don't even have a real relationship with the King. I would venture to say, probably if you put the average individual of those together, I would venture to say that they don't even give the King 1 hour in a week of their time here on this life. And it's evident, because when you spend time with Yah, your behavior is different, your walk is different, your life is different, your attitude is different, your outlook is different when you're spending time with him. When you don't, then you have that same outlook as all these other people that rose up in rebellion. You know, think about this. So we saw in the book, and we see in the book over and over again, people of Israelites, real Hebrews, they get thrown into jail for something. And of course, it's a badge of honor. Martyrdom is a badge of honor. But if you get thrown in jail today, man, you got the other side that claps and prays and rejoices. It really truly shows who's the us and who's the them. I'm glad for many of you who've actually made it to the other side of this. I'm glad many of you who stuck in there, who know how to judge fruit. I really truly am. Because by their fruits, you shall know them. And I'm also glad to know the brand new enemies that I have out there. I mean, a whole bunch of people I've never even heard of before. I understand that Straitway upsets a lot of people because we tell the truth about a lot of stuff that religious people hate. I'll give you an example. The Sabbath day. It starts at Friday night at nightfall, and it ends at Saturday night at nightfall. Now, I'm using terms that you're familiar with. It's no other day of the week but that. But you got people out here that's trying to tell you that you can pick the Sabbath, or Sunday is the Sabbath. Another thing, you eat pig, unclean foods, you're going to hell. Pastor, who in the hell do you think you are? I don't have no heaven and hell to put nobody in, but I do know what Isaiah says. And I know what the law says. And people don't like that, so that irritates people. I do know that biblical marriage is 100% just, true, and right. Just like Father Abraham, Jacob, you know, those 12 tribes of Israel, they came from 4 women, 1 man, and Moses. And even today, watch this. Let's go secular. Man, you think about this. Don't we got some type of gangster of a president today? And I'm saying this in a good way. Donald Trump. This man has got 5 children by 3 different women. And he is I guess he's been a convicted felon. And he gets to live in government housing for free. Again, for the next 4 years. Man, that's a G right there, ain't it? That's a G when you really truly look at it. But anyway, and everybody celebrates that, but they're willing to look over President Donald Trump's polygyny because of something that he's promising them, which is basically more money in your pocket and government tyranny and leaving you alone, you know what I mean? Getting them off the foot of your neck and getting their foot off your neck and your back. But they're willing to overlook that. But biblical marriage is 100% lawful. And as you can tell, because I get people, they make all these videos about me, but nobody's facing. See, I don't do these videos. I don't do these debates out here too much over camera, because I've tried that a few times. It just ain't the same as face-to-face in person. I like the face-to-face where I can see you and you can see me. That's what I like. I like that stuff like that. You know, the real way you do things. But when you tell people about their false Christmas, and you tell people about their sorry birthdays, which is pagan, you tell them about their celebrations of rabbit laying eggs, and they're celebrating Easter, people begin to jump on the bandwagon when you start telling them that the Bible doesn't condemn strong drink or wine. It gives you warning that if you, just like anything else, you do it in excess, you're subject to go the other way. It doesn't condemn being merry, but it does condemn drunkenness. And what is that? Who defines what that is? And so when you get all these religious people out here with clean mouths and filthy lives, they think they got something. They really, truly do. And it starts to affect a lot of people who have been under this false religious system out here called Christianity. Jesus wasn't a Christian, never called himself a Christian. There's not one Israelite in the book ever called themselves a Christian. Yet and still, it's the largest religion in the world, and it doesn't have any truth to it whatsoever at all. But the real Messiah does. But I guess I said all that to say this. I'm glad that I was able to suffer persecution for his name's sake. I'm glad that I had, the only way that people could get other people's ears was by lying on me. See, you know some of the story and some things, but you don't know all of it. And if you don't know the whole story, if you're not even been an eyewitness, that makes you a false witness. And people should be very careful about being false witnesses. I mean, if you wasn't there speaking in other people's lives, you would be wise to hold in reserve your personal opinions and comments. But what you gonna do about this world? Anyway, so I thank the Father. We ended up coming out on the other side. I thank the Father that within this time of trial and tribulation and stuff, I got a son. He's 1 year old now, doing extremely well. Glory to the King. Got another child on the way, and the Father is blessing, because, you know, children are a blessing from the Most High Yah. Especially those sons. Man, they are. And I'm going to tell you something. The blessing of Yah is rich, and it adds no sorrow. And when a man's ways please Yah, he will give him the desires of his heart. You know, being under attack is not an indictment of guilt. It's not an indictment of shame or condemnation. Being under attack is a badge of honor for those of us Israelites who have been captive by a whole nother system, and then watching these people, like during the time of the Maccabees, you watch these people gladly run over to the Gentiles and the Romans, eating their pig, celebrating these false holidays, and becoming just like their captors. Israelites, you're supposed to be persecuted in this life. You are, but you need to pay attention who got deceived, and now pay attention to their footprint. You need to pay attention to those who are still close to your enemies. Watch them. I'll tell you one thing, my circle is getting extremely small. And people wonder why I have trust issues. Man, I think people got a lot of explaining to me to do rather than me explaining to them. But I can tell you what, I've learned so much through this right now. It's done nothing but make me a better man, a stronger man, both naturally and physically and spiritually. It really, truly has. And I thank the Father for it. I'm enjoying this service of the Most High Yah. And now we go up from here. Y'all be encouraged. Y'all be encouraged, because truth is always coming your way. Remember, tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be here on Straight Talk. Straight Talk. Bringing forth this truth live. Looking forward to seeing you, and you. Here is my prayer. Y'all be encouraged. The King is coming.